The vastness of space stretched endlessly before the alien fleet. Ships of every size and shape glimmered like stars themselves, moving in precise formations. Commander Vorith, a towering figure among his species, floated in the observation chamber of the command ship. His eyes, sharp and calculating, scanned the incoming blip on the sensors. "Sir," said Lieutenant Kira, her voice tinged with excitement, "there's a fleet approaching from the Zeta-7 system. Small, but organized." Vorith chuckled, a low, rumbling sound that echoed through the chamber. "Organized? Look at it, Kira, a handful of tiny ships. They call that a fleet?" His claws tapped against the console. "Pathetic. The Zeta-7 humans think they can challenge us with this? Laughable." The rest of the crew murmured in agreement, their confidence unwavering. The alien fleets had never met a foe that lasted beyond a few hours. Their weapons were more powerful, their ships larger, and their strategies perfected over centuries of conquest. They were sure this would be another easy victory. Far from the alien arrogance, Commander Elias Rin of the human fleet stood on the bridge of the lead ship. Intrepid Dawn. The humans' ships were small, sleek, and far fewer in number. Yet the humans moved with a quiet confidence that came from years of discipline, training, and an unshakable belief in their own abilities. Elias looked over the fleet, his gaze steady. "All ships maintain formation. Sensors show the alien fleet is enormous. We are outnumbered, but not outmatched. Remember, their size is their weakness. They are rigid. We are flexible." Lieutenant Marin, his second-in-command, nodded. "Sir, they haven't responded to our hails. Should we try again?" Elias shook his head. "No. Let them make the first move. Observing their tactics will give us the advantage. Remember, speed, coordination, and precision, those are our strengths. Stick to the plan." Below on the alien ships, Vorith's fleet was already preparing. Energy weapons hummed to life, and squads of fighters launched into formation. They moved with confidence, ready to show these humans the difference between power and insignificance. "Commence attack," Vorith bellowed. "Destroy the so-called human fleet in minutes. Do not waste time. They are nothing but insects." The alien ship surged forward, a wall of steel and energy cutting through the darkness of space. The humans, despite being outnumbered, moved gracefully in response. They spread their ships in a wide arc, using the smallest fighters to scout and test the enemy lines. As the first alien ship opened fire, Marin spoke calmly. "Sir, they are targeting our front line." Elias studied the holographic display of incoming enemy fire. "Hold steady. Divert power to shields and use evasive maneuvers. Timing is key." In a series of swift, precise movements, the human ships dodged the alien blasts. The aliens, accustomed to slower, predictable targets, were thrown off. One of their larger cruisers overextended, its weapons locked onto a fighter that vanished almost before it fired. Energy beams tore through empty space as humans weaved between them like dancers. On board the alien command ship, Vorith's eyes narrowed. "What is this? They are evading us with impossible precision." "Halt, focus fire on one target at a time." Kira shook her head. "Sir, their movement patterns are unusual. They are not random. They're coordinating like a single organism." Vorith's claws clenched. "Impossible. They are too small. Their technology is inferior. How?" But the human fleet pressed on, exploiting every weakness. Using asteroids and cosmic debris as cover, they launched sudden strikes, damaging alien scouts and forcing larger ships to divert attention. Even though their numbers were limited, humans were calculating, unpredictable, and daring. Elias watched the unfolding battle calmly. "All units, remember your roles. Strike fast, then retreat. We are not here to win by force alone. We are here to teach them a lesson in underestimation." Marin smiled. "I think the lesson is starting, sir. Look at their lines, they are breaking apart." Indeed, the alien formations, once flawless, were beginning to show gaps. Confusion rippled through Vorith's fleet. The humans were doing something no enemy had done before. They were resisting, not just surviving, but creating openings in a superior force. Vorith's face darkened. "Double the firepower. Target their command ship." But as the energy beam struck, the human shields absorbed them and redirected part of the energy in a controlled burst that disabled 2 alien fighters. Humans were not only surviving, they were striking back with ingenuity. Elias knew this was only the beginning. The aliens believed their sheer size and firepower guaranteed victory. They had underestimated human adaptability, creativity, and determination. Every move the humans made exploited the predictability of their opponent. In the midst of the battle, a young pilot, Lieutenant Jara, maneuvered her fighter through a narrow gap between two alien cruisers. Her small ship zipped through the chaos, dropping miniature disruption mines that interfered with the enemy's systems. A larger cruiser spun out of control, colliding with another ship. The alien crew panicked, unprepared for such audacious tactics. "Excellent work, Jara," Elias said, his voice calm but firm. "Maintain focus." Every action counts. The humans' coordination was seamless. Ships moved in patterns that seemed almost instinctive. They communicated quickly, adjusted strategies in real time, and anticipated alien moves with uncanny precision. The alien fleet, though massive, began to falter. On Voreth's bridge, the atmosphere shifted from confidence to disbelief. "This is not possible," he muttered. "They are adapting. They are humans?" Kira looked at him stunned. "Humans? Are you suggesting—" Voreth slammed a claw against the console. "I am suggesting we stop underestimating them immediately." But the humans were already preparing for the next phase. Using decoys and electronic interference, they lured groups of alien ships into precarious positions. Small but precise strikes disabled weapon systems and engines. The aliens' attacks grew frantic, uncoordinated, and less effective. Elias surveyed the results with quiet satisfaction. "All units regroup for tactical evaluation. We have proven a point. But the lesson is only beginning. Prepare for the next phase." Marin tilted her head. "Sir, they are retreating slightly." "Confusion seems to be spreading among their ranks." Elias nodded. "Good. Let them think they are regaining control. It will make our next move even more effective. Humans survive not because we are strongest, but because we are clever, adaptable, and united. Remember that." The alien fleet, meanwhile, had begun to communicate in rapid bursts, trying to coordinate their faltering lines. Voreth's pride refused to let him consider retreat. Yet, for the first time in centuries, he felt unease gnawing at him. "They are not mere insects," he admitted quietly, almost to himself. "They are something else. Something dangerous." The humans, for their part, remained focused, calm, and resolute. Each small ship in the fleet moved with purpose, every pilot aware of their role. It was not brute force that defined them, but coordination, creativity, and courage. As the stars stretched endlessly beyond, the battle raged with a rhythm of tension and anticipation. The humans, though outnumbered, had demonstrated the first spark of defiance against an empire that had never met resistance like this, and far from the alien mockery, a single truth became clear. Underestimating humans could be fatal. The part ended with both fleets momentarily pausing. The aliens were shaken, their confidence cracked. The humans were ready, alert, and full of silent determination. Commander Elias Rin knew that this was only the beginning. The tiny fleet would soon show the galaxy that size did not equal strength, and that courage, intelligence, and unity could turn the smallest force into a legend. The stars waited, silent witnesses to a clash that would soon be remembered across worlds. The humans had proven something unexpected. The tiny fleet was far from powerless. Yet they knew the aliens would not let this challenge go unanswered. Across the darkness of space, the alien command ships reorganized, their immense firepower ready to strike again. Commander Voreth's pride had been wounded, and he was determined to crush the humans once and for all. "Prepare for full assault," Voreth barked. "Show no mercy. Destroy their so-called fleet before they think of any more tricks." On the human side, Commander Elias Rin watched the alien movements carefully. He did not need to issue orders to the fleet yet. Every ship was in its position, ready for the next phase. Humans understood one simple truth: size alone could not win battles. Strategy, speed, and precision would always matter more. "All units brace for impact," Elias said calmly. "We expected them to strike again. Stay focused, follow your training, and remember, adaptation is our strength." Lieutenant Marin glanced at him. "Sir, they are charging at full speed. Their energy weapons are stronger this time." Elias nodded. "Then we shall use their strength against them." As the alien fleet surged forward, the human ships split into smaller groups. Their agile fighters zipped between massive alien cruisers, drawing fire away from the larger human ships. For every alien shot fired, humans had already moved in unpredictable patterns, exploiting gaps and weaknesses in the alien formation. Lieutenant Jara led a squadron of fighters, her small craft darting through the enemy lines like a spark in darkness. She released a swarm of decoys that mirrored her ship's energy signature. Alien targeting systems locked onto the decoys, and energy beams struck harmless projections while her squadron moved behind the enemy, cutting off communications and small weapon systems. "Impressive," Elias said quietly. "Excellent execution, Jara. Keep the pressure on." The aliens, used to overwhelming strength and obedience, were now facing unpredictability. Every time they thought they had trapped a human squadron, the humans had already changed course, slipped through, or turned the trap against the enemy. The alien officers struggled to adapt, their rigid strategies failing in the face of human creativity. "Sir," Kira shouted from Vorith's command station, "they are using our own energy signatures against us. Our systems cannot predict their maneuvers." Vorith's anger flared. "Impossible. They are too small, too weak. How can they outsmart us?" But the humans were not just using cunning. They were thinking ahead. Captain Elias had analyzed the alien fleet's movement patterns and predicted their reactions. Using speed, terrain, and ingenuity, the humans were creating chaos in what had once been a flawless alien formation. Meanwhile, Marin coordinated the human fleet's shields. "All units, remember to rotate energy, conserve power, and redirect excess to forward shields during heavy fire." The small human fleet seemed fragile, yet it moved with the confidence of a larger force. Humans knew the value of teamwork. Every pilot, engineer, and technician had a role, and every role mattered. They were not fighting individually. They were a single organism, moving and acting as one. In a daring maneuver, Elias ordered a small group of frigates to fly directly toward a cluster of alien battleships, drawing attention to themselves while the main human force slipped past the enemy's front lines. The alien gunners hesitated, unsure which target to prioritize. The humans took advantage, disabling several smaller alien cruisers and leaving their formations fragmented. The aliens began to panic. Their massive weapons were still powerful, but their precision had been shattered. Every move they made seemed slower, less coordinated. Vorith, seeing the first signs of fear among his crew, slammed his claw against the console. "Focus fire. Target the human command ship. End this now." But humans anticipated such desperation. Elias had already diverted a portion of his fleet to block potential attacks, while simultaneously attacking weak points in the alien formation. Every human move was precise, calculated, and perfectly timed. The battle continued, and the human ingenuity became more apparent. Fighter pilots used the cosmic environment to their advantage. Asteroids, debris fields, and radiation clouds became natural shields and weapons. One squadron, led by Lieutenant Jara, used a field of asteroids to hide, then launched a surprise attack that disabled 3 alien cruisers' engines before slipping away into the darkness. Elias watched the results unfold with calm eyes. "They are learning our patterns," he said. "Good, let them chase shadows. Then we will strike where they least expect it." On the alien side, confusion spread like wildfire. Officers argued over tactics, trying to adjust formations and control the battle. But every change they made played into human hands. Each human attack, though small, left the aliens guessing and reacting instead of controlling the fight. Vorith's voice was tense. "How is this possible? They are too small, too few. Their technology is primitive, and yet they are dismantling us." Kira leaned closer, her eyes wide. "Sir, maybe it is not just their technology. Maybe it is something else." "Something human," Vorith growled. "Do not speak heresy, Kira. They are nothing but weaklings. Crush them." Yet the humans continued to strike with courage and precision. They were not reckless, they were smart. Every action had a purpose. Every maneuver had meaning. Their small fleet moved as if guided by a single mind, and each member trusted one another completely. Even the alien drones, designed to overwhelm with numbers, were confused. Human engineers had predicted interference patterns in alien sensors and modified their ships to exploit those gaps. As a result, drone attacks missed repeatedly, leaving alien captains frustrated and their crews demoralized. Marin leaned over Elias. "Sir, our success is growing. The aliens are faltering. Do we push now?" Elias nodded. "Not yet. Let them believe they can recover. Patience will give us the advantage." The humans' cleverness forced the alien fleet into defensive positions, something the aliens were unaccustomed to. For the first time, Vorith realized that size and power were not enough. These humans had something far more dangerous: adaptability, quick thinking, and unity. In one daring move, A squadron of human fighters infiltrated deep into the alien formation, targeting their energy relays. Using minimal firepower, they caused chain reactions that disabled key systems across multiple alien ships. Confusion escalated into panic. "Sir!" Kira shouted, her voice strained. "Our lines are collapsing. Their attacks are coordinated, precise. They are extraordinary." Vorith's face was dark with rage and disbelief. "Extraordinary? No, impossible! They are only humans. How can so few achieve such results?" Meanwhile, Elias watched the unfolding chaos with quiet satisfaction. "All units regroup on my mark. We have proven the first lesson. Size does not equal strength. Adaptation, courage, and teamwork can overcome any obstacle. Prepare for the next phase." The aliens, now wary and disoriented, had no choice but to slow their assault. Their confidence shattered. Their once perfect formations were now jagged and fragmented. The humans, though small, had proven their power, not with sheer force, but with intelligence, coordination, and bravery. For the first time in centuries, the aliens experienced something unfamiliar: uncertainty. The humans, despite appearing insignificant, had turned the tide of the battle without losing a single ship. Elias turned to Marin. "They expected fear. They expected surrender. They will now respect us, or they will learn the hard way." The stars seemed to hold their breath as the first clash ended. The alien fleet, once sure of an easy victory, had been forced to retreat temporarily to regroup. The human fleet floated in space, ready, calm, and full of quiet determination. Commander Elias Rin knew this was only the beginning. The aliens had underestimated humans, and that mistake would be remembered. The tiny fleet had shown the galaxy that numbers were meaningless without courage, intelligence, and unity. And as the human ships moved silently among the stars, one truth became clear. The galaxy had never truly met a force like humanity, and it never would forget the lesson of the tiny fleet. The alien fleet had retreated temporarily, but their confidence was shattered. For the first time, Commander Vorith realized that the humans were not just clever, they were dangerous. They had survived an assault by a fleet many times larger than their own, and more importantly, they had done so with ingenuity, speed, and calm precision. On board the human command ship, Intrepid Dawn, Commander Elias Rin looked over the fleet, analyzing the alien movements. "They are regrouping," he said, his tone calm. "We have forced them to rethink their tactics, but we cannot give them time to recover completely." Lieutenant Marin nodded. "Sir, the asteroid belt nearby could give us cover. We could use it to launch a surprise maneuver." Elias smiled slightly. "Exactly. Prepare all units. We are about to show them that numbers are meaningless against human ingenuity." The fleet moved silently, using the dense asteroid field as a natural shield. Human ships, small and agile, slipped between the massive rocks with ease. Sensors scanned constantly, mapping every potential path and obstacle. Every pilot was aware of the plan and their exact role. Unlike the aliens, who relied on brute force, humans relied on strategy, speed, and intelligence. Lieutenant Jara led the first wave of fighters. "All units follow my lead. Stick to the shadows and move fast. The aliens won't expect us to be this close." The alien fleet, still confident in their size and weaponry, had not anticipated the humans' use of natural terrain as cover. As the human ships disappeared among the asteroids, alien sensors struggled to track them. Every maneuver was precise, every pilot coordinated, and every engineer ready to adjust ship systems for maximum efficiency. Inside the human ships, engineers worked tirelessly. Small adjustments to engines and weapons allowed them to exploit weaknesses in alien technology. Energy shields were strengthened in areas where alien fire was most likely, and decoy drones were deployed to confuse sensors. Humans had turned the battlefield itself into a weapon, using it to their advantage. Elias stood on the bridge, calm but focused. "Remember, they may have more ships, but they cannot think outside their patterns. Every move we make should take advantage of their rigidity. Patience, precision, and creativity will be our greatest weapons." As the humans advanced through the asteroid belt, the aliens realized something was happening. "Sir," Kira said nervously, "they are moving into the field. I cannot track all of them at once. Their maneuvers are unpredictable." Vorith's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Our sensors should detect every ship. How can they hide among rocks in space?" The humans were already in position. From multiple angles, they launched small, precise attacks that disabled several alien cruisers' engines. Using minimal energy, they forced the aliens to redirect power to shields, slowing their attacks. The aliens were reacting, not planning, and their frustration grew. Lieutenant Marin spoke quietly to Elias. "Sir, they are trying to regroup, but their formation is already weakened." "We can strike again." Elias nodded. "Yes, but we must be careful. Let them feel control, then take it away in an instant. Surprise is our ally." The human fleet moved like a single organism. Fighters weaved in and out of asteroid shadows, while frigates provided support and decoys. Every action had a purpose, and every pilot trusted their comrades completely. In one daring maneuver, a group of small human ships infiltrated the alien command line, temporarily disabling their navigation systems. Alien cruisers drifted in confusion, unable to coordinate. On the alien command ship, Vorith slammed a claw against the console. "What is happening? How can so few disable our systems?" Kira spoke cautiously. "Sir, perhaps it is not the number of ships, but their coordination. Humans work as one. Every move supports the next." "They are clever," Vorith growled. "Clever or not, we are many. We cannot lose. Launch all weapons. Target their command ship." But the humans anticipated such desperation. Using small drones and electronic interference, they diverted energy attacks away from critical systems. Fighter pilots, using the shadows of asteroids, struck the aliens at points no one thought possible. Ships that seemed helpless suddenly attacked key alien ships, disabling weapons or engines. Every human move was calculated, precise, and efficient. Elias gave orders calmly. "All units continue the pattern. Strike quickly, then vanish. Let them chase shadows, then take control of the battle. Use everything, terrain, decoys, energy bursts, to create confusion. This is not brute force. This is human ingenuity." Even as the battle intensified, the humans maintained composure. Small teams of engineers aboard the ships were constantly adjusting systems, repairing damage and recalibrating weapons. Fighters were small and nimble, but each pilot was skilled, focused, and aware of their exact role. Unlike the aliens, who relied on sheer power, humans relied on teamwork, intelligence, and creativity. In a daring plan, Elias ordered several frigates to pretend to retreat. The alien fleet, eager to claim victory, pursued them into a narrow asteroid corridor. Suddenly, the humans reversed direction, striking from unexpected angles. Alien cruisers collided with rocks or each other. Systems failed, and confusion spread through the enemy lines. "Sir," Marin said, excitement in her voice, "our trap worked. They didn't expect the maneuver." Elias nodded. "Yes, that is the power of thinking differently. Remember this, the galaxy will not expect humans, and that is why we will win." On the alien command ship, chaos reigned. Officers barked orders, but the humans had already anticipated every predictable response. Energy beams missed, weapons overheated, and communications faltered. The massive fleet that once seemed unstoppable was now struggling to survive. Vorith's pride was shattered. "I have never faced such audacity. How can so few achieve so much?" Kira answered quietly, "Sir, they are humans. Perhaps they are stronger than we thought." Vorith's eyes burned with fury. "Stronger, no. They are small, fragile, insignificant, but we cannot underestimate them again." The humans continued their clever attacks. Small, coordinated strikes disabled alien weapons, disrupted communications, and forced large ships to maneuver awkwardly. The aliens were being outsmarted at every turn. Every time they thought they had a human trapped, the human ship would vanish into an asteroid field, or appear behind them in an impossible position. Lieutenant Jara led a daring maneuver through a field of dense asteroids. She used the terrain to hide from alien sensors and launched a series of attacks that disabled several cruisers. Her squadron moved as one, striking quickly and retreating before the aliens could respond. "Excellent work, Jara," Elias said calmly. "Your precision and timing are perfect. Continue the pattern." As the battle unfolded, it became clear that the humans were not only surviving, they were winning. They had taken what the aliens thought were advantages and turned them into weaknesses. The small human fleet, guided by intelligence and courage, had made the massive alien fleet struggle to respond effectively. Elias addressed his fleet. "All units maintain focus. We have shown our ingenuity, but the battle is not over. Let them believe they are regaining control. Then we strike again. Remember, human strength is not in size, but in unity, intelligence, and adaptability. The alien fleet, once arrogant and confident, was now cautious and wary. Their massive size and firepower could not overcome the humans' clever strategies and precise coordination. Vorith realized for the first time that he was facing a species that could not be defeated by force alone. And as the human ships moved silently among the stars, using the environment and their ingenuity as weapons, one undeniable truth became clear. Humanity was unlike any other. Clever, brave, and united, humans had turned a battle against overwhelming odds into a demonstration of intelligence and courage. The stars above remained silent, witnessing the first true clash between size and ingenuity. The humans had proven that their fleet, though small, could outthink and outmaneuver a much larger force. And Commander Elias Rin knew that the lesson was only beginning. The galaxy would soon remember the name of the tiny fleet, not for its size, but for its brilliance and courage. And for the aliens, underestimating humanity had become a mistake they would never make again. The alien fleet, once confident and relentless, now hovered in uncertainty. Commander Vorith stared at the human movements on the holographic display. His massive ships, powered with overwhelming energy, had been outmaneuvered repeatedly. For the first time in his life, he felt frustration and unease. "They are not just clever," Kira whispered. "They are unpredictable. They anticipate our moves before we make them." Vorith's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. We are more numerous, more powerful, more experienced. How can such few challenge us?" Meanwhile, Commander Elias Rin observed the alien lines with calm precision. "They are hesitant," he said. "Good. Hesitation leads to mistakes. Prepare for the next phase and remember, timing is everything." Elias had studied the alien fleet's behavior carefully. He noticed patterns in their attempts to regain control. They were strong but rigid. Humans, on the other hand, could think quickly, adapt instantly, and coordinate perfectly. The key was to exploit these rigid tendencies without exposing human weaknesses. "All units follow the plan," Elias instructed. "We strike where they least expect it. Small, precise maneuvers, then regroup. Disrupt their command structure without engaging in unnecessary risks." The human fleet moved like a single organism. Fighters zipped through the stars, weaving among debris fields and asteroid belts. Frigates and corvettes stayed close to the command ship, ready to support and shield the smaller ships. Engineers worked tirelessly, constantly adjusting shields, weapons, and engines to exploit weaknesses in the alien systems. Lieutenant Jara led her squadron with confidence. "All units, remember, surprise is our ally. Strike hard, then vanish. Use every shadow, every asteroid, every gap. The larger they are, the easier it is to trick them." The humans' strategy was flawless. Alien gunners struggled to track fast-moving targets, often firing at empty space. Small human ships infiltrated the enemy formation, temporarily disabling energy relays and communication channels. Every disruption caused ripple effects across the alien fleet. Cruisers misaligned, fighters collided, and officers shouted in confusion. Vorith slammed a claw against the console. "Focus, target their command ship. End this now." But the humans were already anticipating such desperation. The fleet had been divided into groups for maximum flexibility. While one group drew attention, another moved unseen, striking from angles the aliens had never considered. The human command ship, Intrepid Dawn, remained protected, its position a mystery to the enemy. Lieutenant Marin watched the unfolding chaos with excitement. "Sir, they can't recover fast enough. The alien formation is breaking apart. We can push further." Elias nodded. "Yes, but precision, not haste. Every action must have purpose. This is not only about defeating them, it is about showing them the strength of humans." From the shadows, small human ships launched another wave of attacks. They targeted critical systems on several alien cruisers, disabling weapons and engines without risking major damage to themselves. The aliens, once arrogant and confident, were forced to retreat or risk total collapse. Vorith's expression darkened. "They are daring. How can such few take such control of the battlefield?" Kira leaned closer. "Sir, they are not just using technology. They are thinking differently. Every move supports the next. They act as one mind, not as individuals." Vorith's claws clenched tightly. "Enough, regain formation." Do not underestimate them again. But it was too late. The humans had already seized the initiative. Using asteroid fields and debris as cover, they launched a coordinated attack on the alien command line. Small, fast ships darted between massive cruisers, disabling communication channels and engines. Alien ships drifted aimlessly, unable to coordinate attacks effectively. "Sir," Marin said, "their command structure is failing. They are reacting instead of controlling. We can strike decisively now." Elias's eyes were calm, but his voice carried authority. "All units focus. Use coordinated maneuvers to neutralize key threats. Protect our fleet and disrupt theirs. Remember, courage and intelligence are our greatest weapons." The human fleet moved in a flawless sequence. Fighters infiltrated the alien lines, disrupting systems. Frigates attacked weak points. Engineers on board worked tirelessly, recalibrating shields and weapons to maximize effect. Every movement was coordinated, every decision precise. The aliens tried to respond, but confusion reigned. Officers shouted contradictory orders. Weapons overheated. Communication channels failed. Even the largest ships struggled to maneuver effectively. The humans, though far smaller in number, had turned the tide. Lieutenant Jara executed a daring maneuver through a narrow asteroid corridor, leading her squadron into the heart of the alien fleet. Using the terrain to hide from sensors, they struck critical systems on several cruisers. The alien ships spun uncontrollably, forcing their crews into defensive positions. "Excellent work," Elias said calmly. "Every move demonstrates human ingenuity. Continue the pattern." The alien fleet, once confident, now feared these small opponents. They realized that sheer size and firepower were not enough. The humans had shown them that intelligence, coordination, and adaptability could overcome overwhelming odds. Vorith stared at the display, his pride shaken. "I have underestimated them," he admitted quietly. "They are more dangerous than I imagined," Kira nodded. "Sir, they are humans. They work as one. Every move is calculated. They think in ways we cannot predict." Vorith's eyes burned with frustration. "Then we must adapt quickly. Do not let them control the battle." But the humans were already ahead. They anticipated the alien attempts to regroup and struck again with precision. Small squads disabled weapons, interfered with communications, and forced alien ships into positions where they could do little but defend themselves. Elias addressed the fleet. "All units maintain focus. We have proven our strength, but the fight is not over. Let them believe they are regaining control. Then show them how humans turn small advantages into victory. Remember, unity and intelligence are our greatest weapons." The aliens, now cautious and wary, could not ignore the truth. The humans were extraordinary. Their fleet, though small, moved with perfect coordination and clever tactics. The massive alien ships, despite their size and firepower, were at a disadvantage against ingenuity and precision. In one final maneuver, Elias ordered a group of frigates to feign retreat. The alien fleet, eager to strike, pursued them into a narrow corridor filled with debris. Suddenly, the human ships reversed course, striking from unexpected angles. Alien ships collided with obstacles, systems failed, and confusion spread. "Sir," Marin said with a hint of pride, "our plan worked perfectly." "They never saw it coming," Elias nodded. "This is how humans turn the smallest fleet into a legend. Remember this: cleverness, courage, and unity are stronger than size or strength alone." The alien fleet, shaken and demoralized, had no choice but to retreat further. Their confidence shattered. They now respected their small human opponents. For the first time, Commander Vorith understood that humans were not merely clever, they were extraordinary. And as the human fleet floated silently among the stars, one undeniable truth became clear: size and numbers did not define power. Ingenuity, courage, and unity did. Humanity had turned the tide, proving that even the smallest fleet could challenge the largest force in the galaxy. The stars watched in silence as the humans prepared for the next step, ready to continue their journey across the galaxy. The tiny fleet had not only survived, they had become a symbol of human brilliance and resilience. The aliens would never forget this day. The stars stretched endlessly above as the human fleet glided into position. The alien fleet, once confident and arrogant, hovered with caution. Commander Vorith knew his forces had suffered unexpected losses not from power, but from strategy, agility, and cleverness. Humanity had proven itself in a way no one had predicted. On the bridge of the human command ship, Intrepid Dawn, Commander Elias Rin observed the alien formation calmly. "They are tense," he said quietly to Lieutenant Marin. "Their confidence is shaken. Good. That is how we win. not by brute force, but by demonstrating that thinking, unity, and courage matter more than numbers. Marin nodded. Sir, our fleet is ready. We have minimal damage and our systems are fully operational. Do we strike now? Elias's eyes scanned the stars. Yes, but precisely. We will give them a lesson they will never forget. The human ships moved silently, each one aware of its role in the final maneuver. Fighters zipped between asteroids using the shadows to hide their movements. Frigates and corvettes provided cover and decoys. Engineers on every ship recalibrated weapons and shields to perfection. Every element of the fleet worked as one, an organism of intelligence, courage, and precision. Lieutenant Jara led a squadron of fighters through a dense asteroid field, invisible to alien sensors. All units, stay focused. Timing and precision are everything. One mistake could give them a chance to regroup. The aliens watched, uneasy. Commander Vorith observed the humans' movements carefully. He had underestimated them before, and he would not do it again. Do not allow them to reach our lines. Engage carefully, but be ready for anything, he ordered. The humans' plan was clear. While small squads created diversions, the main fleet would strike directly at the alien command ships. Using speed, timing, and ingenuity, they would disrupt the enemy's ability to coordinate, forcing them to respond instead of act. Elias's voice was calm but firm. All units move in sequence. Attack precisely, strike where weakest, then vanish. Let them feel control, then show them how humans turn the smallest advantage into victory. The human fighters zipped through space, darting between debris and asteroids. Small bursts of energy temporarily disabled alien weapon systems, while decoys confused their sensors. Alien ships spun to respond, but human precision left them always one step behind. Vorith's claws clenched. How can so few control the battlefield like this? They are extraordinary. Kira leaned close. Sir, they are humans. Every move supports the next. Their unity and intelligence make them stronger than their size suggests. Vorith growled but could not deny it. For the first time he realized he was facing a species he could not defeat with numbers alone. Humanity's fleet, small as it was, had become a force beyond what size could measure. In a daring maneuver, the human fleet created a corridor of safety through the asteroid belt. Alien ships followed, believing they had trapped the humans. But as they moved forward, small human frigates and fighters struck from unexpected angles. Energy beams disrupted engines, communication systems failed, and alien formations collapsed. The massive fleet, once confident, was now in disarray. Lieutenant Marin watched the results with excitement. Sir, their formation is breaking apart. They can't recover fast enough, Elias nodded calmly. All units, keep focus. Protect our fleet while maximizing disruption. Remember, every move shows the strength of humans, not just in skill, but in courage and unity. The humans struck quickly, disabling key alien ships without unnecessary risk. Small squads attacked weak points in larger cruisers, forcing the aliens to retreat or risk collisions. Communication channels remained jammed, weapons were disrupted, and coordination became nearly impossible. Vorith's pride shattered further. I have never faced such audacity. How can so few achieve so much? Kira looked at him seriously. Sir, perhaps they are not just clever, they are remarkable. They are humans. Vorith's eyes burned with frustration. Humans, they are small, fragile. And yet they have outmaneuvered us at every turn. We must retreat, or we risk total failure. The humans pressed their advantage. Using precise attacks, they disabled the alien command ship's energy systems, leaving the largest vessels unable to fire effectively. Fighters and frigates continued to harass the enemy, striking where it mattered most. The aliens, despite their size, were trapped in a web of human ingenuity. Lieutenant Jara executed a final maneuver through the alien formation, using shadows and asteroid cover to disable additional systems. The alien ships drifted, unable to respond effectively. The humans had proven that small numbers, when combined with intelligence and courage, could overcome the largest fleet in the galaxy. Elias addressed his fleet. All units, maintain formation. Let the enemy see our strength and precision. Today we show the galaxy what humanity can achieve. The alien fleet, now fully demoralized, could do little but retreat. Commander Vorith signaled withdrawal. The humans had not destroyed them entirely, they did not need to. But the message was clear. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. In the aftermath, the aliens sent a message to the human fleet. Vorith's tone was respectful, though tinged with disbelief. "Humans," he said, "we underestimated you. Your fleet, though small, has demonstrated remarkable skill, courage, and ingenuity. We acknowledge your strength and request a temporary truce," Elias replied calmly, his voice carrying the pride of his fleet. "Commander Vorith, humans do not seek unnecessary conflict. But we will always defend ourselves with intelligence, courage, and unity. We hope your species remembers this lesson. Never underestimate humanity." The aliens acknowledged the message, their fleet retreating to regroup. The humans remained in formation, watching as the once arrogant fleet faded into the distance. Their victory was not just in battle, but in respect earned. Marin looked at Elias with admiration. "Sir, they will never underestimate us again." Elias smiled slightly. "No. They will remember today as the day a small fleet showed what humans can achieve when united by courage, intelligence, and determination." Across the fleet, human ships moved with quiet pride. Engineers and pilots celebrated small victories, but the mood was calm, disciplined. They had achieved something remarkable, not just survival, but the proof that humanity could face even the largest force in the galaxy and prevail through ingenuity and unity. Lieutenant Jara approached Elias. "Sir, do you think this will change how other species see humans?" Elias gazed at the stars. "Yes, they will no longer see us as small, weak, or insignificant. Humanity is clever, adaptable, and courageous. That is our strength. And the galaxy will remember the tiny fleet, not for its size, but for what it represents: human brilliance and resilience." Vorith, aboard his retreating command ship, stared at the distant human fleet. For the first time, he understood something he had never considered before. Power alone did not guarantee victory. Intelligence, unity, and courage could turn the smallest force into a legend. The humans had shown it today. The galaxy would never forget it. And as the stars stretched endlessly around them, the human fleet continued its journey, ready for whatever lay ahead. They had earned respect, proven their strength, and shown that even the smallest fleet could achieve greatness. The tiny fleet was no longer a joke. It had become a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and unity. A lesson for all who would dare underestimate humanity. The stars watched silently as the humans sailed forward, victorious not through force alone, but through brilliance, precision, and the unshakable belief that they could overcome any challenge. And so, humanity's legend began, not with numbers, not with size, but with courage, intelligence, and the determination to never be underestimated.